I like this feature a lot too. It's not that powerful. It is kind of fun though. Like
Yeah.
you get martial weapon proficiencies, you get a scythe, you do the Grim Reaper thing, or you get a great sword and you're doing 2d6 plus 9 on that hit, plus whatever your strength mod is. And that's just like, oh yeah. Every once in a while I can be like, yeah, take a chunk of damage. Sure, why not? It's fun. It's not
Sure.
good, but it's fun.
Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we are continuing down the Cleric path. And today's subclass is Death Domain.
I love Death Domain. It's one of my favorite archetypes. It's in the DMG. It's the first unofficial official content they've ever made because it's example content like Oathbreaker. So it's like, this is a real released option, but it's an example option of something you make. It's kind of weird. But we've only gotten weirder since. We've only gotten more of, this isn't really updates to the rules. It's just updates to the rules. It's great. It's a great time. Thanks, Wizards. Thanks for your clarity. It's very helpful. I love this thing though. I think Death Domain is really sweet, and especially the first 2 levels. I don't know about past that because I haven't played it past that. But you know, the rest of the time, I'm assuming you're just a full caster cleric, and you're gonna have a good time. This is like one of the most unique build directions I think cleric kind of gets. That's why I love it dearly.
All right, well, let's jump into it.
Great. So we start with domain spells. If you're a cleric, you get domain spells. Domain spells are automatically prepared for you, and they are automatically prepared when you reach a certain level in cleric. That level corresponds to when you get that level of a spell slot. So, for example, here we get False Life and Rave Sickness at first level because first level spell slots come at first level. Huzzah! Now, on False Life and Rave Sickness. Any feelings?
I forgot what Ray of Sickness does. False Life, not super excited about.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
Rave Sickness is a ranged spell attack that does 2d8 poison on hit and then enforces a thing hit to make a saving throw. And then if it fails the saving throw, it's poisoned for a turn.
For a turn.
Yeah, it's pretty
All right, that's... I mean, I always like spells that have a condition, but a poison condition for a turn.
Assuming
Again,
you hit, and then
yes,
it fails
yes.
a con save, which
Right.
is, bears aren't failing constitution saving throws. Neither are giants or anything to that effect. Not ideal. Not a great spell. We also have Blindness, Deafness, and Ravenfieldment at 3rd level. I feel like we haven't talked about Ravenfieldment in a very long time. It's been years. We came up on it in the video, I remember, but like, this is an oldie. Because like, you make a ranged spell attack against a thing, and if it hits, it only deals half damage if they're used strength-based damage weapons for a round. So like, or until it passes a con save. So you can like sling this at somebody that's doing, 6 great sword attacks, and all of a sudden you have their efficacy, which is a lot cooler in the upper tiers. I don't know how I feel about this one. This one's neat.
Yeah, I guess it's got its uses. Blindness, that's always fun.
Oh yeah, blindness, deafness is always great. Specifically blindness, as you noted. Yeah. You normally want that save, and you don't. Deafness is normally upside because it makes you immune to thunder damage.
Right.
So, 5th level though is when you get the real juice. Vampiric Touch, JK. That's half of what you get.
Yes.
The actual you get is Anime Dead. So now you're just doing necromancer stuff, and it doesn't really matter what other spells you got because this is where most of your spell slots are going, and it's really easy on clerics specifically to just be like, yeah, sure, 50,000 skeletons, let's kill some stuff.
I mean, I can't believe. All right, so I guess this came out in the Dungeon Master's book, so maybe the designers didn't yet like have a full feel for just how bad Vampiric Touch is.
I mean, they would have been working on this at the exact same time that they were working on Vampiric Touch, right? So yeah, it's fine. I can't wait to see it exactly unchanged in the next edition, because that's how my current thoughts are on most of the playtest stuff I read. It's like, what did they change? This is just not solving any of the problem. Okay, sure, whatever. Anyway, at 7th level, we get Blight and Death Ward. I like Blight. I'm a Blight apologist, especially as like, a Death Domain character that wants a single target damage spell. I'm a big fan. And you're much more of a fan of Death Ward than I am, right?
Yes. You're not a fan?
No, not really. If I get to cast it like in the upper tiers when I've got a billion extra spell slots, it's fine. Or if you're cheesing it with Warlock, it's fine. Or if you're getting other features that give it for free, it's fine. There's lots of ways to get Death Ward on your sheet, and it's not the end of the world to cast sometimes.
Well, I mean, this is exactly that case right now.
Yeah. Maybe you'll use it one day. Who knows?
Yeah.
We also have Anti-Life Shells, our 5th level option with Cloud Kill. And Anti-Life Shell is the one that like if you move into somebody's space that is alive, it ends. So like
Right.
you can't really move that efficiently, and you're on a
And
character that
like people can't move into the space with you, but they can still stab you.
yeah, throw stuff at you, kick
Right.
you with very, very long extendo legs, not physical legs, but like
Not
you think
their
about
actual
like
legs. No.
yeah, that's why I said extendo legs.
Okay. Is that the equipment guide?
It should be. Other thing we get is Cloud Kill. Cloud Kill is fine. Giant area effect damage over time. This is kind of what I expect my upper tier Death Domain clerics to do. Is you put down a bunch of skeletons, you send them in to kill a small village, and then you Cloud Kill the small village. So your skeletons are unaffected, and they murder everything in the Cloud Kill.
I mean,
Pretty
you
evil, pretty wonderful, right?
could do this with bad guys too. Doesn't have to be innocent villagers.
You could, yes. I think bad guys often will be immune to poison is the problem, but not often, sometimes.
Hmm.
All things considered, I really think like Animate Dead does almost all the heavy lifting on this list. But honestly, that's not the end of the world. Animate Dead is that kind of like build warping effect. If you're doing Animate Dead stuff, it's like parallel to regular spell casting because you use spells in just a very different way. It's converting instantaneous and concentration effects into just these really long-term like investments in undead. It's a neat system. I like it a lot. And it's honestly like with Death Ward and Blight and Blindness Deafness, yeah, sure. I hate it.
Yeah, as long as you've got these, and you'll find ways to use some of them.
For sure. The real juice of this subclass, though, comes not in the bonus proficiencies, which just gives you martial weapon proficiency. Don't worry, that is great. I do love just getting free martial weapon proficiency.
Sure.
The real feature is Reaper. So at first level, you learn a necromancy cantrip of your choice from any spell list. When you cast a necromancy cantrip that normally targets only one creature, the spell can instead target 2 creatures within 5 feet of each other.
That's pretty fun.
That's pretty sweet. It makes your level 1 just very explosive, so you'll just all of a sudden be double Toll the Deading, and it'll feel amazing. You'll be double Chill Touching. It'll feel amazing. I have had the distinct pleasure of being in a swarm of zombies and just spamming Chill Touch on all of them, and no one could attack me that well. And you're a medium armored cleric with martial weapons, so you kind of like being in the thick of it too. It was a great time. Would recommend. And this lets you do those kinds of things. It's an absolute blast. It's not simple. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not that complicated. It's relatively straightforward. You can kind of build around it if you can find ways to like add your charisma modifier to your necrotic damage cantrips. That's pretty good. It also really helps that cantrips auto scale. So like you can just if you're casting a lot of cantrips, like you could do sorcerer stuff where you're quickening cantrips. With Reaper, you can just be casting functionally four like 48, 40, 12 damaging cantrips every single round. It's not going to look like as good as the blaster spam, but it is genuinely pretty powerful. There's the condition of things being right next to each other, but you can make that happen in a lot of fights. It's a great time.
Yeah, and it's getting it first level means you can easily multi-class into other things to pull off these kind of shenanigans.
Yeah, you really like. This is a really harmless thing to take a level dip in. You sometimes just want access to Healing Word. This gives you access to Healing Word and doubles your Necromancy cantrips. If you're just like a Necromancer out the gate as a wizard, I could imagine easily at level 5 going to 6. Oh yeah, I'll just take a dip into Death Domain here and pick this up. Because you'll get your Animate Dead still from Wizard, and now you can double your Necromancy cantrips. It's all pretty good. Another quick shout out I want to give is to Sapping Sting. So Sapping Sting came out in Explore Guide to Wildemount, and it's like mainly official content, but I don't know if it's like considered official content. But the juice of it is you pick a thing, it makes a con save or takes a d4 necrotic damage and falls prone. Doubling that means you're dropping lots of things prone, and that can be really fun. So that's just a thing to keep in your back pocket, especially given that I think Toll the Dead is on the Cleric list, so you can take it and Toll the Dead, and then have a cute little utility package of Necromancy cantrips to do some awesome stuff with.
Well, I mean, none of this needs to be on the Cleric list, right?
So you get one free one that isn't on the Cleric list.
Okay,
that can be Sapping Sting. The other ones do have to be on the Cleric list because you don't get to prepare whatever you want. Or learn whatever you want, I should say. Make sense?
Yes.
Sick. Moving onward, we get Channel Divinity at level 2. We get Touch of Death. So starting at 2nd level, you can use your Channel Divinity to destroy another creature's life force with touch. When you hit a creature with a melee attack, you can use your Channel Divinity to deal extra necrotic damage to the creature. The damage equals 5 plus twice your Cleric level. I like this feature a lot too. It's not that powerful. It is kind of fun though. Like you get martial weapon proficiencies, you get a scythe, you do the Grim Reaper thing, or you get a greatsword and you're doing 2d6 plus 9 on that hit, plus whatever your strength mod is. And that's just like, oh yeah, Every once in a while, I can be like, yeah, take a chunk of damage. Sure, why not? It's fun. It's not
Sure.
good, but it's fun. This is really cute if you like doing, if you wanted to like dip your toes into Death Domain plus Paladin kind of stuff. So like maybe you're a martial character that wants 3rd level spells for Animate Dead. They were like Oath Breaking, maybe we're Conquesting. And you just take a 2-level dip into this. It gives you more spell slots for your Animate Dead. It gives you ton of dash to sometimes nug something for a bunch. You can use Channel Divinities. I don't remember the multi-class rules for Channel Divinities, but you can use them on Paladin features or Cleric features, I assume. It seems sweet. I'm a big fan.
Yep.
Any comments, thoughts about just doing extra damage?
Well, it's extra damage. I mean, I'll take it. I mean, 5 plus twice your cleric levels. That scales pretty good, huh?
I mean, at level 10, it's getting 15 bonus damage. Yeah.
Well,
I
no.
will say
At level 10, you're getting 25 bonus damage.
twice your cleric level. So level 10. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That does. Yeah. Okay, that's great. I love that it'll make the turns where you go, crap, I have to make a weapon attack feel like, oh, wait, no, I've got something for this. And then you just like, bring upon death with your touch of death. That's pretty sweet, right?
Yeah, that can, I mean, you say it's not powerful, but I think it's appropriately powerful.
It's a once or twice per rest kind of feature. A lot of the other channel divinities are like selective saves. I like that this one is just a catch-all. So you'll still have turn undead for the undead environments, but then you also just have, oh, in every other encounter, I can do something with this.
Right.
It won't be like, changing the scope of gameplay or anything. It's not like a random, crazy, powerful new tool, but it's like, oh, I do a lot more damage when my martial attack or my weapon attack. Cool. This also kind of like paints this with both Reaper and Touch of Death. This is a hybrid option, and like it's an honest hybrid option, right? Like you do both want to be using your cantrips and attacking with a weapon, and I like that there's an incentive to do that. I like that this is kind of a lead from the front Necromancer fantasy. Big fan. Yeah. 6th level, we get Inescapable Destruction. At 6th level, your ability to channel negative energy becomes more potent. Necrotic damage dealt by your cleric spells and Channel Divinity ignores resistance to necrotic damage. Oh boy, is this not a feature. Great.
No, that's just straight up nothing.
Yep. Okay, great. Moving on. 8th level, we got Divine Strikes. So all cleric options at 8th level either get Potent Spellcasting or Divine Strike. This is the martial option. So it says at 8th level, you gain the ability to infuse weapon strikes with necrotic energy. Once on each of your turns when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can cause the attack to do a bonus 1d8 necrotic damage to the target. When you reach 14th level, it goes up to 2d8.
Wait a second.
So bonus d8 necrotic damage on hit with Divine Strike. And then at 14th level, it goes up again. That's fine. It's not great. Yeah. I like that it's usually whenever you get these as cleric, you have no reason to use them because you're a full caster, and like most of the other options are like, here are some defensive buffs and boons you give your team. Like that's in Forge's case a lot of the time. Even War, you start to run out of reasons to want to take weapon attacks. With Touch of Death, I want to use my 30 damage death hit, and this does a bonus d8 to that. So hey, I got a little bit more incentive to actually use my Divine Strike with it. It makes that one singular attack hit like a truck, and I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah, sure. Stack a little bit more damage on there. Still not something I'm super excited about since I got nothing at 6th level.
Yeah. I mean, if you're like gonna get funky with it though, you take Great Weapon Master, and now you're just like seeing how much damage can I do with one single attack with -5 to hit. That could be funny. Good? No. Funny, absolutely. You just be like once every fight, you just okay, that's a crater. Hey, I did it. I'm not even a paladin. You also don't have to invest that much to do that, right? Because you're still a full caster. Like, all this was in the context. I got 9th level spells coming up. I got plenty of things to do with my actions, even if I'm not taking weapon attacks. So I'm honestly not that bummed out when upper tier features and Cleric aren't that great. At 70th level, though, we get Improved Reaper. So if we can sit through being a full caster, which you can, even though you don't get a 6th level feature, or an 8th level feature, it's fine. You're a full caster. You end on Improved Reaper. So when you cast a Necromancy spell of 1st through 5th level that targets only one creature, the spell can instead target 2 creatures within 5 feet of each other. If this consumes material components, you must provide 1 for each target. Neat. Want to twin some Necromancy spells, Bob?
What are our options there?
Let's take a look.
I mean, it does have very limiting circumstances here. Has to be Necromancy. Has to only target 1 creature.
Yes. One option we have is Enervation. Off to a swell start. I don't remember. I think Negative Energy Flood targets 1 thing, right? Yeah. So if you want to send ribbons of necrotic damage to something, it does 5d12 damage and half on assess, and if it's killed, it becomes a zombie. So now you can make 2 zombies for 5d12 damage. Yeah? That's kind of neat. Negative energy flood gets a little bit better with this. Now, you can't get it as a cleric. You have to find a way to get it because it's a wizard warlock exclusive. Remember, you're still
Okay.
lumped into that problem of you don't get
And
all these
what
spells.
level is that?
5th level.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, very, very, very difficult to get that without asking the DM. We have at 4th level, we're looking at Blight, which you do get for free. So you are twinning Blights, and that's 1688 damage instead of 88 damage. And that is kind of meaningful, especially if you're doing the moderate range thing, right? Where you're like
Right.
you want to both be in melee range, do some attacking, but more spell casting. I can see Blight being a pretty easy tool to reach for over and over again, especially when you get to twin it like this. After Blight, there are no other meaningful spells at 4th level that trigger it. At 3rd level, there are none. 0 necromancy spells. Oh, I'm sorry, bestow curse.
Bestow
So
curse. All right.
still 0 necromancy
Yeah.
spells that you would want to use this with. 2nd level, we have blindness, deafness. You can twin now. That's genuinely kind of powerful, but it's a
Yeah.
2nd level spell.
So,
Again,
did they take this into account when they made this feature?
evidently, no. That's what it feels like, right?
It
It
reads
feels like that.
a lot better than it turns out being.
Yes, mainly you're between blights with this, and maybe some negative energy floods is like the real juice you get, assuming you can find a way to get on your sheet. Now, a thing you could do if you again want to just be like, I want to see big number go boom. You just cast like 8th or 5th, 4th level, and 3rd level inflict wounds and blights, and then you get to roll a billion d10s, and hey, you can twin all of those. Is it good? Not really, but it's a thing you're allowed to do. Thumbs up from me.
Oh, well, this I don't know. Started out pretty high and went downhill pretty quick.
But remember, most games don't take place beyond 9th level anyway, right?
Yes, that's true.
And the other real meat of this that I think is hidden, while these top end features kind of feel lackluster, there is the real line of text, which is at 5th level, you get automatically prepared animate dead. And as a cleric, your upper tier just starts looking like larger and larger armies of undead. And now you have this battalion of skeleton archers, you're throwing out contagions, you're twinning blights. This all comes together to actually be a pretty cohesive package where your mid-game is just shored up by one really obnoxiously good spell, and the rest of the class gives you a little bits of toolboxing here and there. Your early game is really suited to doing the Reaper stuff in a way that you want it to. You want to feel like a Death Domain cleric out the gate, and you very much do. Necromancer has that issue where Necromancer out the gate feels like garbage until you get animate dead. This doesn't. This gives you give you the killing things with necrotic damage stuff in a really successful fashion. I like it. It doesn't get above a C though, because animate dead in 2 features isn't constituting a full subclass, I don't think.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I guess I agree with C overall, but just because it's so front loaded with cool stuff, it's the Reaper and
Touch of Death.
Yeah, Touch of Death. I mean, that's 1st and 2nd level.
Yeah.
Look, I think this is excellent for multi-class options.
Yeah, absolutely. I really think there's a lot of fun to be had dancing around in like cleric, wizard, paladin kind of spaces doing the necromancer stuff. You could go into sorcerer for shadow sorcery, maybe. You could go into bard if you want to do college of spirits. Like, you can get some levels in this to get the cheap, quick, powerful utility out of it. And then you can, and it doesn't hurt to invest more in it either, because you're a full caster, right? So your full casting spell levels keep going up, and it makes Touch of Death get better and all that kinds of stuff. And you can get whatever cleric spells you want, and then dip out whenever you want to say, okay, maybe I'll go do some warlock, get some, if I want to bulk up, take fiendish vigor at will. That's the kind of thing you can do with this. That's pretty neat.
All right, well, yeah, I think you'll have fun with this in the early tiers, and
Absolutely.
you'll probably still have fun with it later on.
Yeah,
Just
you're
won't
full
use any
caster.
of these features. Yeah.
The floor on every single full caster option is very, very high, because worst case scenario, you just pick cool spells. Whereas martials, you go, I take the attack action, and that's all I got. Okay, anyway.
This one in particular with the martial weapon proficiencies, the Touch of Death and all that. And like you were suggesting before, you could pick up Great Weapon Master. Like, you're really gonna put some martials to shame.
Yeah. I really think what the highlight of this option is it's really flexible. If you want to go all in on, I am the evil lich in the back corner with my wretched staff, summoning and conjuring the dead and bolstering them, you can do that. if you want to be a Death Knight on the front line with a helm down, great sword, leading a legion of zombies yourself, you can do that. And that dichotomy and anything in between it, I think makes this a really great option to exist.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a Death Domain Cleric. Thank you, Sam, and thank you everyone for joining us. Let us know your opinions down in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.